Good evening, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Hope you are ready and prepared for the abnormal buy orders. Yes, in just under 4 hours' time, we have 3 abnormal skins that will become marketable, and we're going to race to see if we can do the fastest buy order. But of course, we need to figure out what potentially might be a good price to offer for them, based on the fact of how many they sold. We could look at relatable skins to see what they might end up at in terms of their price. You get the idea. There's a lot of things to go over. So we've got the likes of the Starfish Rug Knight, we've got the Redemption Bar, and we also have the Windwalker Star. We have those as our only abnormals for tonight. But we of course need to figure out prices that we might want to offer for likes of the regular skins. Regular skins being skins that only become marketable when a new Rustor rotates in with new skins. So when we see a new Rustor, the likes of the Concentric Tier 2 Panther Crossbow, Cactus Furnace, Large OSB Box, and the Coliseum Double Barrel Shotgun, they will all become marketable. And of course, if we have a good idea of what prices we might want to offer for them beforehand, we'll be prepared to put those fast buy orders down. Sounds good? Right, let's get started. Let's start talking about the abnormals. So we're going to start off with the likes of the Starfish Rug. Only did 24,000 sales at the moment. That is a bit of a surprise. But it is probably not too surprising based on the fact that we've had quite a lot of rug skins accepted this year. As you can see, we've had 4. And, well, compared to last year, where we only had 2, understandable. We did see 4 the year before that. Okay, but anyway, moving on. We actually have talked about already the transparency, the usefulness of transparency and the advantages it can give if you just kind of put it over a window. So with the likes of the Kelp Rug, we also had some transparency on that, and that was helpful. And of course, the original, the Heart Rug, this was one of the first rug skins to get brought up with the idea of, hey guys, because this rug is mostly transparent, you can see through it. And if someone were to shoot you, whilst you have it covering your window, it will block most of the damage. You won't get hurt. So you can get a good window of time, pun intended, to be able to quickly just look, see if someone's out there. They might try and shoot you, but the rug will save you, and then you can quickly seal up your window again, and you now know where to potentially attack to defend yourself and whatnot. So, yeah, Starfish Rug. It's abnormal. I guess you could say thank God. But, like, in terms of the price that I'm going to offer for it, I'm a bit conflicted, because 24,000 is quite a lot. But how many people are actively going to use this for the strategic purposes? I don't fully know. It is a bit of a goofy rug. We do need to kind of bring that up, don't we? It is pretty silly. How many of you are going to want to have a rug like this by default? I should also point out, this rug does not glow in the dark as well. Glow in the dark rugs are definitely very, very, very helpful to have, especially in the early game. The fact that this doesn't have glow is a bit disappointing. No glow, no profit. Well, Urban, it still has just the strategic I'm losing my tongue. The strategic purposes of using it with Windows. So I could see it still working out quite all right. I think based on like current times with the amount of people that we see playing the game at the moment, I would sit here and say 24,000 is probably a nice, fairly average number for an in-demand skin. Not a ridiculous amount of sales, but a perfectly reasonably fine amount of sales. So in the grand scheme of things, as time goes on, will this potentially go up in price? I think it will. We don't actually have that many rug skins, to be precise. If you just go over to here real quickly, if we look at all of them, we could probably go by highest price. There we go, yeah. We've only got 20, all right? And we've only got 2 that have like really noticeable transparency, the Heart Rug and the Starfish Rug. Now, Heart Rug had 42,000 sales almost, and it's only down by 13% at the moment. This right here, 24,000, currently selling at $2.49. Will it potentially go down its Rustor price? I think it will. I think there is a potential it could happen. But I'm also expecting that as time goes on, it'll eventually just go up in price. We don't see too many rug skins every year. And I think we're probably going to be somewhat safe with this one. But I have to bring something up. There is a special skin that I have seen being uploaded very recently that I'm fully expecting to be accepted. And it is a rug skin. And it is part of the Porcelain collection. Chat, YouTube, I'm not sure if you are aware of this, but Vase and Hanushka have made a very, very, very nice rug skin. And get a good look at that. That is a rug. That is a masterpiece. That is a piece of art right there. That is beautiful. and this also glows in the dark. Yes, get a good look at this, right? Here's what it looks like at night time. And if you are aware of the recent push with all of the porcelain deplorables, they have great usage of glow in the dark. That made the wonderful masterpiece of art stand out even better. And of course, they have a little brick house right there. I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if that gets accepted. So this appearing definitely could potentially have an impact on the likes of our starfish rug right here. So we have to keep this in mind when we're approaching this, because I wouldn't be surprised if people probably ditch that and immediately go on to this. So you've got a rug to enjoy in your base, and you'd probably pick a rug for strategic purposes. That's a very specific role. Is that going to have enough demand to justify the $2.49 price forever? I don't think so. I think people will probably gradually buy out all the stock from the Steam market, and eventually it might have low quantity, and it might just sit there slightly above its restore price from then on. Is that really a profitable adventure? I don't think so, but with a smart buy order price, we could probably work this out. All right, so my suggestion for this, so the prices I'm going to offer, because I use 2 accounts to do buy orders with, usually a safe option and a more aggressive, but probably better chances in actually buying it type of option. I think I'm going to do $1.20 and $1.80. I could see this working out quite right as time goes on, but I think if I did like a $1.80 buy order, I feel like I could still potentially pick up a few of them, and I wouldn't be surprised if when times are a lot better, when we see a lot more people playing, some people do actually buy this and use this and whatnot. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes below its restore price, even just for a little while. But I don't know how far down it might go, and I do expect another rug to be accepted fairly soon. So, yeah, $1.20 to $1.80 is my suggestion. Right, does that sound good? Starfish is 70% cut out. I know, mate. I know. But I can't guarantee everyone's always going to buy it and use it for that special strategy. But you never know. We'll see. But I have to be cautious about what likely could happen soon. And if that appears very soon, I wouldn't be surprised that this probably loses some of its thunder. Alright then, so we're now going to move on to the redemption bar. And this is different. With the redemption bar, I feel a whole lot more confident. Yes, redemption collection. Gentlemen, on the horizon, we very likely will be seeing this custom SMG being accepted. I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest, alright? So, will we potentially see some more redemption skins being accepted? I'm feeling confident, yes. I do believe we're potentially going to be seeing some interesting new skins being submitted soon for the redemption collection. So with that, I feel like the redemption bar is in a very comfortable position. Now, I should also point out, this is the first bolt-action rifle to be accepted after 2 whole years. We have not seen a bolt-action rifle skin accepted since June 2021. And because of that, quite a lot of the bolt-action rifle skins have gone up in price. But the ones with a lot more sales, they seem to have suffered a fair bit, haven't they? So this did 25,000, this did 30,000, this did 60,000. There is a good question of how many of you are actually using these. What is the gun demand like? So based on the current times, with the amount of people that we see playing the game and whatnot, that's what I meant to say. Yep. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking 23,000 isn't that much like what we just said with the starfish. It's a number where I'd say, yes, this was highly in demand, but it wasn't ridiculously overbought. This seems fairly tame for a number. I get the feeling, right? I don't think we're going to see another bolt-action rifle being accepted this year. At the very least, maybe one more, all right? But the amount of people, the amount of skin creators actively submitting new bolt-action rifle skins, and again, if you keep an eye on the likes of my Rust Workshop skin checks, where every single week we go through and look at all of the newest Rust skins and whatnot. There you go, porcelain rug. And here's some weapons and whatnot. We are constantly looking And the amount of bolt-action rifle skins I see being made by skin creators that are actually putting out quality works is kind of rare. I don't see many of these being submitted. So because of that, I wouldn't be too surprised if we don't see another one being accepted for this year. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see another one being accepted for the next year either. And that could only improve this in terms of help it out in its current position. I think it's going to be perfectly fine to do a pretty high buy order on. Guys, I'm probably going to do maybe $1.80 to $2.50. Yeah, that right there, right? It's looking to be in a very comfortable position. So I think with the redemption bar, we should probably go right up to it and go all the way. And when you look at all of the other redemption skins, they're all mostly doing all right. Early M249 is struggling at the moment. SAR has now pushed up even further up in price. Redemption AK has now pushed up even more in price. There is demand for this collection. People like this collection, and I wouldn't be surprised if that bar pushes up even further. Will this potentially ever go below its restore price? Well, we have seen some of those redemption skins go below their restore price ever so slightly for a while, and then they just pushed up like they have now. So, again, $2.50, still fine. You're still potentially buying it at a cheaper price, 50 cents cheaper, but you're still very close to the restore price where you very likely will be grabbing a good, decent amount of them. So $1.80 to $2.50. I feel like you're perfectly fine to be nice and aggressive. And honestly, I kind of wouldn't be surprised if we have buy orders going all the way up to $3 by the end of tonight, where we're probably going to be in a position where I'll sit here and say, maybe it's perfectly fine to just go ahead and buy some. I think by the end of tonight, we very likely will see such strong support that it's probably going to go all the way up to $3. I'm mumbling a lot. I'm very sorry, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I got the word across. Redemption bar is in a very comfortable position. So we're going to now go talk about the likes of the Windwalker SAR. So this hasn't sold a lot, has it? But we should also bring up, how many semi-automatic rifle skins have we had so far this year? Let's just go take a look. And the answer is a lot. 12. 12 after, 7 full proper months. Now, last year, we had 18. At the current rate of acceptances, we're probably going to match up with this or surpass it. Maybe we'll go up to about 20 skins this year. But the main point I want to get across to all of you is, we've had the likes of the Arctic Skull. We've quite literally had the Redemption SAR last month. There's a lot of options that have come out. And this Windwalker SAR, I'll be honest with you, it's got a pretty nice design. It's got a pretty nice colour to it. But by the looks of things, it doesn't look like the skin creators are attempting to continue it as a new collection. I mean, they probably already had this made and they released it this week. Maybe we'll see another Apache skin being made next week. Potentially, that could happen. But I don't think people were really itching for a brand new SAR again. So that caused it to have low sales. In fact, in terms of the whole year, this is the second lowest selling SAR skin, only being beaten by the likes of the Chemical Burn SAR. So I guess it potentially could be in a position where it's vulnerable to manipulation. And if you know what that is, that's when manipulators notice that there is a skin that had hardly any sales, so they'll buy as much of the stock as they can, trying to get the majority of the stock, and with that, they can control the value of the skin and make it appear to be more valuable than what it actually is. So, yeah, with this, I'm probably only going to do 90 cents to $1.50. Yeah, 90 cents to $1.50. That's what I'm going to do. If you want to play it safe, stick with 90 cents. If you want to push it, go up to $1.50. But we shall see what happens with it afterwards. But yeah, I don't think this is in demand, and I don't think it's worth going all the way up to about $2.50. So $1.50 it is. Right. So, we just talked about all of the abnormal skins. Shall we now move on to the likes of the regular skins? So, I repeat, all these regular skins, that being the likes, of course, with the concentric tier 2 here, they will only become marketable when the next restore appears tomorrow. So, if we get a good idea of what prices we want to offer for them now, we will be prepared enough to just instantly do them fast enough, and yeah, works out pretty nice, doesn't it? So, concentric tier 2. Was a surprise to see this. Congratulations again, Confusion, because you haven't had that many skins accepted, have you? Now, Confusion, this past weekend, did submit another core piece. He submitted... Here we go. He submitted hoodie and pants, 2 versions of them. So, if that does get accepted, It doesn't matter. You can sit there and say whether you like it or not. Doesn't matter. There will still be a spike in demand. There will still be a spike in price. So it is still very much worth to jump in and try and attack all of this. Now, in terms of its sales, it wasn't that much. It was more than what I was expecting, though. This did about 15,000 sales. I reckon by the end of tomorrow, it'll be about 15,000 sales for all of the Tier 2. I'm going to sit here and say that I feel like I kind of want to really go for it in terms of... I wouldn't be surprised if we do see more of this concentric set. I think I'm probably going to push up to about 80 cents each. So I'm probably going to do like 60 cents to be safe and 80 cents to push it. Because I kind of get the feeling that we're probably going to see the full concentric set being made and accepted. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised, I'd say. So I get the feeling that... Mr. Confusion's going to get a nice reward out of this, and I think we should probably cast the rod out and see if we can catch anything, and see if we can make some of those delicious profits. So, yeah, 60 cents, 80 cents is probably what I'm going to do. I don't know what you're going to do, but that's what I feel like doing. And if we don't see any of the newer concentric stuff being accepted, yeah, that's when I'd probably start removing bilders and whatnot. So, it is what it is. And then we got the likes of the Panther crossbow. So, yeah, I should point out, this is technically a collection, and this past weekend we had a new Panther skin being submitted, the Panther Thompson, which does look very sleek and pretty interesting looking. Svonsper, you're doing a pretty good job of this. Aim down the sight, what do we see? Yep. So, yeah, another Thompson skin potentially on the horizon, a continuation of the Panther collection. Could this potentially become a full-fledged collection? I wouldn't be surprised. It's a perfectly fine collection for what it is. I will sit here and I will say crossbows by default, we know this, they don't really go down in price that much. Like, I have sat here and looked at all of the 2022 skins before, and I have seen every single one of these skins in the positive around January time, post-Christmas. They all at some point will be above their rust or price, or equal to. So what we also usually see is crossbows don't really go down in price too low. Lowest priced is the Dead Man crossbow, $1.30 or $1.35, and then they're all about $1.40. Then they're all about $1.60. Yeah, so crossbows might go down in price quite a lot, but they don't go down in price too badly. So my answer to you is, for the likes of this Panther crossbow, I'm probably going to do 90 cents to $1.30. And I do expect at some point this will be going above its rust or price. It does look like Svonsper does intend to make this into a collection. So I don't think we're stopping at the Thompson. I do think we're going to be seeing potentially even more Panther skins being made, and then therefore potentially being accepted. So 90 cents to $1.30 probably is safe, but I know for a price like that, that range, I will definitely be able to make a profit out of it. Regardless. Sound good? Right then. We have here the Cactus Furnace. Christina, you had your first ever skin accepted this past week. Congratulations. And over the past weekend, you did submit some more cactus skins. You were trying to attempt to make some cactus primitive, which is perfectly fine for what it is, and it is part of the collection. So if we did see even more cactus skins being made and accepted, yes, I do feel like that furnace could very likely go up in price. Because number one, it didn't sell that much. Now, in the grand scheme of things, yes, that 8,600 isn't that much. When you look at all of the other furnaces that came out this year, I believe this is currently the lowest selling one. So let's just go take a look at this. So we go by, newest, please. And then we'll look at all of the furnaces that came out this year. 25,000 almost, 19,000, 15,000, 15,000, 36,000 almost, 18,000, 23,000, almost 14,000, almost 27,000, 8,600. It's very tame. However, with a very tame amount of sales, I think there is more room for it to potentially grow. I can't speak properly. More, you get what I mean. Less purchases in excess. Not that many people bought these with a pure intent to sell them. Therefore, less potential competition to sell. And also, it probably has a better chance in actually rising up in price. So the point I'm trying to get across is, even though it had low sales, it could easily gain some traction if we do see some more cactus skins being accepted. So keep an eye on this one. I'm curious. I think I'm going to do 80 cents to $1.10. Because I feel like that could easily turn around, rebound, and then become fairly pricey. And I feel like some profits could be made with this. So keep up the good work, Chris. Maybe make some more cactus-themed deployables. That would be my suggestion. So with that, I'm going to keep an eye on that, but we're going to move on to the large OSB box. So this right here, I'm still not 100% sure what to think of it, guys. I know what it is, I know its theme, and I should point this out. Mr. Wagan did make a wooden door to be in theme with that. But I'm not 100% sure this is going to be accepted. This clearly didn't have that much demand. I am a fair bit unsure. Now, is there anything relatable that came out like last year, for example, that we could probably try and see if we can compare to? Was there any skin that came out last year that didn't sell that much, that looked a fair bit plain? And my answer to you is, well, we had the graffiti storage collection, so this is already a bit of a struggle. I guess we could look at the likes of the smouldering large box, but that did glow at the very least. Yeah, we're in a bit of an awkward position. So, maybe we could look at some of the skins that came out this year. Crate box, for example. Oh, dear. So I am not super confident with this one. I think I'm going to do 70 cents to $1. That's what I'm probably going to do. That is what I'm going to approach. Good day, Micro. So yeah. Then we had the Coliseum double barrel shotgun. And we shouldn't be surprised this happened. It has only got 6,000 sales. But what literally came out the week before? What literally came out with the last Rust store? We had the Black Gold double barrel shotgun. How many of those sold? Over 20,000. Or to be precise, over 22,000. So everybody that would have wanted a brand new double barrel shotgun very likely bought that. And then Face Punch, with their infinite wisdom, decided, let's go release another one. And then that happened. So, yeah, this is where changing up the skins in the Rust store, well, at least the different types of items and weapons and whatnot, would help out the skins itself. By releasing this literally 1 week after, pretty much probably killed all potential it could have had in terms of sales and whatnot. But I will point this out. It is a very nice looking double barrel. It does look cool. The theme of it and whatnot, I feel like, has been greatly expressed. But unfortunately, it's the timing. So, what is the future for this, do you reckon? Well, with only 6,000 sales, it's definitely vulnerable to manipulation. It's not something I'm going to sit here and depend upon, but I also wouldn't be surprised if it does potentially happen. So, I do feel like this would get some appreciation as time goes on. We should also probably take a look and see how many double barrel shotgun skins have sold this amount over the past few years. So we go by lowest estimated total supply. So this has got 6,100 sales. This has got 6,100 sales. This has got 6,300 sales. This came out in 2020. This came out in 2020. 2020, 2017, 2019, 2019, 2019, 2019. Yeah, these are all skins that came out a good few years ago. The numbers that you see here was fairly common for like 4 years ago, but to see this getting this amount of sales in 2023 is pretty ridiculous. When you look at it for the modern day, so we'll look at all of the skins that came out in 2023 and 2022, 22,000, 12,600, 22,000, almost 15,000. What do we have over here? 12,000, 12,000. Last year we did have Ghost Blaster only doing about 6,700. Fair enough, 7,000 here. So yeah, occasionally we do have a double barrel shotgun that doesn't sell that much, probably because there isn't enough demand for it. And with these two, with low demand and low sales, down 38%, down 45%. Oh dear. So, I don't know, I'm a bit conflicted with this one. Maybe we should just play it safe and just stick with a 70 cent to 90 cent buy order. I do respect it for what it is, but it doesn't look super great for it at the moment. But if you do feel like there's a decent chance this might potentially get manipulated at some point, maybe offer a little bit more. But it's not something I would sit here and cross your fingers over and depend upon, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, that's that, essentially. That is that. I believe I have now talked about all of the skins. I believe you've probably got a decent idea of what prices you might want to offer them. And, yeah, Micro, I'm not going to do that all over again. Shut up! Anyway, so, I hope you have been keeping an eye on the workshop and whatnot. as I did mention, with the likes of the Rust Workshop skin checks, we did see a very interesting batch of skins over the past weekend. A lot of them. You might notice we have a lot of brick themed skins because, of course, next week with the August Force Wipe, we're going to have the brick building DLC being introduced. We've got a very nice batch of suburban garage doors to go for your lovely brick-laden homes. You've got some interesting rock skins. You've got a brick hammer. Could we potentially see a hammer skin being accepted for the first time in over a year? Interesting tools, weapons, you name it. It's all there. So please consider watching the Rust Workshop skin checks video, or at the very least, look at the collection itself, and you'll get a good idea of what potentially could be coming out on the horizon. Oh, yes. All right, then. Okay, so with that, I guess we've pretty much discussed everything that needed to be said. So we're going to now skip ahead to the buy orders, and let's see if I can get it, let's see if I can be fast this time. Let's go. All right, it's 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock, here we go. Racing for the redemption bar. Doo-da, doo-da. How many legitimate real people are actually going to do the buy order at the very split second that it appears on the Steam market? La, da, da, da. Oh, come on, where are you? You got a pair of what? Hello? Did everybody forget to sell it this week? Did anybody buy it last week? Uh-oh. Oh. Now. Have I accidentally broke it? Well, there's starfish. So, starfish, I'm going to do like 0.84, 55. There we go. There. Oh, damn it. It's typical. Absolutely typical. I'm trying to get it and it don't appear. Look, Windwalker Sar, please don't play around with me, mate. Come on. There we go. Thank you, mate. Cheers. Much appreciated. What we're going to do, that and that. All right. So, stupid things happened. I'm going to skip ahead and we'll talk about the buy order support afterwards. All right, cool. Right, chat, so it's been about 6 minutes and we have all the free skins, the abnormal skins, now on the market. As you can see here, SCMM can track them. It has some prices for them at the moment. They're not like proper prices to actually follow, but you get the idea. So, if we quickly go over to here, we can see the buy order support. The redemption bar has over 2,600 requests to buy. The buy orders are going all the way up to $2.65. This right here, honestly, if you're watching this on the Thursday, the next day, tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised if the buy orders probably go a little bit higher than that one. I would actually sit here and say that redemption bar probably is a perfectly fine skin to go ahead and buy. For a skin that's likely going to retain its value and potentially be a nice profit in the future, along with all the other redemption skins, minus the M249, I think it's totally fun to go ahead and buy, basically. That's looking good. Buy order support looking very strong. Loads of buy orders around just over $1. Loads of buy orders pushing all the way up to $2. And a very decent amount of buy orders, yes. All the way up to $2.50, 60, and of course $2.65. So, this right here, I really do feel like it's going to retain its value. The amount of skins that it sold isn't too ridiculous. It's one of the highest selling bolt action rifle skins, of course, but we haven't seen one for 2 years, and I really don't think we're going to be seeing another one anytime soon. Therefore, with the fairly low looking amount of sales, the unlikely chances we're going to see another one of these being accepted, I really do feel like this is going to flourish, and it really does look like, based on the support it has, it's a perfectly fine skin to go ahead and buy. So things are looking good for this. Good. Now we're going to look at the likes of the Starfish rug. This is selling for $2.49 at the moment. This right here, again, I made my point earlier. I do feel like at some point it potentially might struggle a fair bit. The fact that this rug doesn't really glow, bit unfortunate. However, I mean, it doesn't glow. Let me just point that out. It's not a case of it doesn't really glow. It doesn't glow outright. Okay, just want to make sure that was understood. But the transparency is definitely useful. It's definitely going to get used with the window strategy. But we do potentially have another rug on the horizon. That is the porcelain rug, and it looks amazing. And it is also glow in the dark. And I feel like that is going to be accepted, and I really do feel like it's going to take away the thunder of this and maybe all the recent rug skins that we might have had. So point made is Starfish Rug potentially might be struggling a fair bit. I did point this out, and I wouldn't be surprised if people went a little bit lower than the $2.50 price. Exactly what we see here. So someone pushed it all the way up to $1.90, a bit far off. If you really wanted to buy this Starfish Rug, you could probably put down like a $2.10 buy order, and I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if you bought it. So why not try and buy it for like 40 cents cheaper? There is your option. It didn't sell an insane amount, but it still sold quite a fair bit. This is going to have over 25,000 sales. In the grand scheme of things, in the long term, I do think this will eventually go up in price. I do think this will eventually be a profit. But in the short term, I can see potential problems, especially with the point of the porcelain rug very likely being accepted soon, because that has had a lot of acceptances recently of its deplorable skins, and they have all sold very, very well. It would be a big surprise if Face Punch didn't want to accept it. Like, if you haven't seen that porcelain rug skin yet, go check the workshop. It is a work of art. It is beautiful. Quite literally probably one of the best skins I've actually ever seen. So yeah, awesome. And then this Windwalker Sir, I was very cautious about it, not fully sure what to think of it really. Like, it was one of the most neglected skins this week in terms of sales. This right here is currently selling for $2.49. There is no buy order above $2.50. In fact, I'm the highest buy order here at $1.47, and now I'm starting to question it. Well then, so with that, I am going to have to question whether or not I keep that or lower the price, and I'm probably going to decide with lowering the price. Yeah, it wasn't a bad skin, it's just, I guess people just weren't super keen on a brand new SAR skin at this very moment, and I don't want to get dumped on, so I need to be cautious about that. I need to think about what I'm going to do next. So, with only 864 requests to buy, with a buy order that's the highest buy order being quite literally $1 less than the price it sells for on the Rust store, I really don't think this is going to be retaining its value. But it also didn't sell that much. That's another thing. Maybe everybody that actually lists theirs on the market might completely refrain from selling it below $4. We have seen some goofy things like that happen before. But overall, I don't imagine this is going to retain its value. So if you really want to actually buy one, you could probably put down like a $1.70 buy order, and I wouldn't be surprised if you ended up buying it at some point with that cheaper buy order price. So with that is now out of the way, we can now start imagining or preparing for what potentially might be appearing tomorrow for the Rust store rotation tomorrow. So it's going to be the final week of what is it? Yeah, we're in July, of course. Yeah, tomorrow, of course. Well, for you Americans, it's going to be the 27th of July. Now, normally we would see a whole bunch of new skin creators being accepted potentially. That would be the pattern. But literally, this past Rust store, we had 2 new skin creators. So I'm starting to think that maybe we're probably not going to see some very wacky creative designs tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe, possibly. So for the most likely skins that are going to be accepted, you'd want to look at TGG's top picks. Now, usually, by default, all the skins in the top picks are the skins that are most likely going to be accepted. Do you reckon we'll finally get to become furries in Rust and get the capybara hoodie and pants? Are you crossing your fingers and hoping for that? Well, maybe it might happen. Maybe we actually might see the likes of Hardsuit Tier 2 actually being accepted. Maybe we might see a brand new white collection, the White Rhino. Maybe the Abyss collection might actually be successful and turn into a clothing and armor set. That'd be pretty goofy, but it would still be pretty awesome. As you are aware, we've only had deplorable skins so far, so let's see how that probably turns out. Then we got a whole bunch of deplorables here, as you can see. Get a good look at all of those. And then, of course, eventually you will see the likes of the weapons. There's one skin I feel very confident in with tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Redemption SMG. I also wouldn't be surprised if we see the MP5 Nana. I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest. So, yeah, those are the skins that I would like to see Circu's AK-47 from Heaven. That looked really awesome. That was really nice. That looks nice. So, yeah. Maybe we might see some old skins. Maybe we might actually see that brick armored door being accepted. That came out a fair bit earlier. All of the brick skins were submitted this past weekend because usually what would happen is all the skins that appeared the past weekend, which I can show you right here because I have a collection link of all of them. Yep. If anything from here that could potentially be picked would be an early pick, because these quite literally were submitted this past weekend, and as you can see, all of these brick skins have all been submitted, and yeah, there's a fairly decent chance that we're going to be seeing a lot of them appearing next week with the introduction of the brick building skin DLC for August. So yeah, maybe we will see some early picks tomorrow. Maybe not the brick skins though, maybe they're being saved for August. So okay, we'll see what happens. No confident answers other than the likes of Redemption and the banana skin. So we shall see, we shall see. And how are your builders doing? Have you been picking up a whole bunch of random things for fairly cheap? I bought this Wasteland Thompson for $1, and I've also bought it for about $1.15, so that worked out pretty okay. Buying this Pythonana there for $1, Thompsonana here for about $2. Yeah, it'll be alright. You know, I knew these prices were going to go down, and I'm picking up for very cheap, and hopefully I'll sell them for a lot more. I'm buying the Cultist Deer Torch here for $1, and I'm also buying it here for $2.50. Yeah, well, Halloween's just around the corner, and hopefully I could turn that into a very nice profit. So, with that, chat, YouTube, and everybody, keep an eye out for tomorrow. I expect a regular Rustall rotation of around 7 o'clock to about 9 o'clock UK time. So, yeah, no early rotation tomorrow, but I will expect an early rotation next week. So, yeah, don't worry about too much tomorrow. I will be streaming. If you want to get the link to my Twitch, look in the description of the YouTube video. You'll see a whole bunch of links to the likes of my Twitter and TikTok and all of that. And yeah, it's all there. And I did mention this earlier, and I'll say it again. Do go take a look at the likes of the skin checks, the Rust Workshop skin checks, if you want to get a good idea of what potential skins could be accepted either tomorrow or, of course, next week. And I've also got a short video pointing out how many different brick skins were submitted over the past weekend. Of course, with loads of people anticipating the arrival of the brick building DLC next week. Brick building, does that sound right? Building skin? You get the idea. Anyway, moving on. Thank you very much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Have a lovely evening. Have a lovely Thursday. And maybe have a lovely weekend as well. Catch you later. See you and goodbye.